Welcome back. Episode 79 on a Victory Monday of the Purple Rain. Whoa, stuff's going on right now. Oh, goodness. But we're back after a huge win. Dare I say a statement win. Dare I say putting the NFL on notice win. But first off, how are you doing, my guy, son?
I'm doing pretty well. Only thing is, on my end of the broadcast, I can't really see anything. I'm guessing you can see me just fine,
I can see you
but
perfectly fine.
cool. Everybody on the stream, let me know if you guys can see me because I cannot see anything right now. But
We can
anyways,
see everything.
uh, I guess I'll have to refresh here in a minute. But yeah, man, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. Actually, I'm doing a little bit more than okay after that huge win yesterday against the Chargers, man. You know, a lot of people counted us out against the Chargers. They were like, this is a real test for the Ravens. But look, man, you don't doubt my Ravens. Don't doubt Lamar Jackson and company, man. And yesterday was a complete team win. So, like I said, I'm more than okay. I'm very, very happy right now, and I'm ready to talk about it.
I'm ready to talk about it too. But first, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at the Purple Rain Podcast. And just real quick, just like the video. Just get out the way so we don't have to talk about it later. Just like the video. Like the video.
Exactly. All right. So, yeah, now looking at actually, you know what? Let me go ahead and there we go. Now I can see you guys. I fixed it.
Perfect.
Cool. So we're good now. So let's go ahead and just jump right into. Well, actually, first before we do that, I got to give a big shout out to my guys in the chat. You know, we cannot go any further without talking about the Rain Gang live and in action. Darius, the official, in the house, says Rain Gang. What's up, my guy? K Dog in the house. Ron TV in here said he had to give me the L in fantasy this week. Yes, you did. I checked on that, and you did give me an L fair and square. Big shout out to you. Congratulations on that. I got SG in the house, Void in the building as well. Robbie Rediford, Click One, Brandon Lewis, Chris Reed, J Prime 235. Yeah, it's Boz. That's Mod Boz. Put some respect on his name. Says, yo, Rain Gang. King is in the house as well. Says, yo, what's good? What's good, King? How you doing tonight, my man?
Yo.
Yolanda coming through says, Rain Gang. I hope everyone is well. We have so much to celebrate tonight. Yes, we do. We have a lot to talk about too. Brandon Lewis, Showcase, Daquan Jones, Travis Dow. Thank you guys for letting me know that you guys can see me. I appreciate you guys on that one too. Jackson in the house. Jabari Cruz Ellis is in the building as well. DLC, Spencer the Realist. Everybody, one session. Everybody is in here tonight. We appreciate all of you guys for coming through to episode 79 of the Purple Rain Podcast. Like my guy Alex said, just go ahead and like that video before we get to anything else. And also subscribe if you are new. We already got about 30 to 40 people watching right now. So make sure you guys like that video. Let's keep the likes up today. We don't want to be an hour into the episode. We only got a couple likes and we're asking for more. You know, the kids got to eat. We haven't brought it up in a while. But Alex, the kids still have to eat.
They do have to eat.
You know what I mean?
They do have to eat. We'll revisit that later. We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
That we will. But yeah, big shout out to all you guys for joining this episode of the Purple Rain Podcast. If you're listening or watching after the fact and you're part of the hashtag replay gang, big shout out to you. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Hashtag replay gang. We appreciate you guys so much. Click One says he was at the game. Oh, that's lit.
Oh, Click One brought us back a dub. Oh boy.
Brought us back a dub. We appreciate that. Taquan, what's up? But yeah. Going ahead and just jumping right into this game, Alex. So needless to say, the Ravens absolutely rout the Chargers, dismantle them at M&T Bank Stadium on Sunday. 34-6 was the final score, and nobody saw that coming. We're talking about a high flying.
You guys didn't. Nope. Yeah. Nobody talked about a blowout on here. Let's be honest.
Nobody talked about the Ravens blowing out the Chargers.
Some had us losing.
Yeah.
We were actually not like a lot of the experts had us losing.
Yeah, they did. A lot of the experts did have us losing that football game. But hey, we came out with a W, and it was a weird W, Alex. I'm not gonna lie. It was a W unlike one that we've felt in a while, right?
Ooh.
Like we haven't gotten a you know what I mean? It's been a minute. Might I say 2019. You know what I mean? Like
I put a tweet out. I said I felt like that game against the Texans of 2019. The red hot Texans coming in with Deshaun Watson taking over the league, D-Hop just doing everything. And what happened? Blew him out.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely blew him out, man. And it just wasn't even close just from the get-go. I mean, we scored touchdowns on our first two drives. Like, it was nothing. And I talked about that.
Somebody talked about that last week.
Yeah. In the preview episode, I said, listen, the Ravens have got to stop coming out flat. And look at what we did when we did not come out flat. We blew them out. We blew them out. We got them in our territory, out of their comfort zone, drug them into deep waters, and we just completely blew them out, man. And that's what happens when you start fast.
Sorry, Mike Williams fantasy owners.
Yeah.
Sorry, Keenan Allen fantasy owners.
Austin Mingo in the house. What's up, Austin? And our guy Gerald in the house as well says, "What up, PRP? How about those Ravens?" What's up, Gerald?
Agree, Gerald. Agree.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So we're gonna go ahead and get into our biggest takeaways from this game. Alex,
okay,
what was one of your biggest takeaways from this Ravens just beat down on the Los Angeles Chargers?
There's a reason I'm wearing this beautiful college jersey. LSU. He was under a lot of criticism. Did get hurt, but this isn't just about him, but it's about the whole defense. You hold the Chargers' high-flying offense to 6 points.
Yeah.
6 points. 1 touchdown. It's got to be the defense. After we let a 1-3 beat-up, terrible Colts team come in to the bank and just do anything to us, they had their way with us. And the fact that our defense turned it around and shut down a top 5 quarterback in the league, Justin Herbert, arguably, and a 4-1 team that many had above us in the power rankings. Right. They were right behind the Bills for number 2. The Bills and the Cardinals, the best team in the league. But for me, it's got to be just the defense putting together a solid display, getting the turnovers, getting the pass breakups, getting 2 sacks, and just making Justin Herbert uncomfortable. The defense for me.
Yeah. Definitely, it's going to be the defense for me as well. Most specifically, listen, man, our linebacking play was really good yesterday.
Josh Bynes, lifetime contract. Lifetime. Yeah. I don't care. Why did we let him leave in the first place? Honestly.
I know. It's just like every time he's on the field, he's making just like, he just looks like a football player. He looks like he knows how to play like a Raven, man. And that's what you just love to see out of him. Like just those big, hard-hitting tackles that make you go, ooh, like who was in that?
He hasn't aged.
That play? It was Josh Bond.
He literally plays like he's 25.
Yeah. Flying all over the field, man. Like you can't teach that stuff. You can't teach that stuff. So I was very happy what I saw from our linebacking play. Not even just him, but Chris Board as well. Better in coverage, that sort of thing. But just shutting down the run completely from the get-go. Austin Eckler never even had a chance to get going. 6 carries for, I think, 7 yards, I believe. Yeah. It was just a total dominant effort up front, man. They were just pushing around the Chargers offensive line, and you just love to see it, man. You just love to see it. And what's his name? Yeah, like you said, Justin Herbert just did not look comfortable all game. He only got sacked twice, but he did get hurried. He did get pressured a lot, and that definitely led to a lot of his and a lot of his throws were off target. A lot of his throws, he did.
Yeah. Big time.
But yeah, man, I think that was definitely my biggest takeaway. Just their ability to shut down the run game like they have not been able to up to this point, and just completely take that out of the game. And also my biggest takeaway, again, like I just talked about a couple minutes ago, the fact that the Ravens were able to jump out and not start out flat, because you can see the difference. It's a night and day difference of how the course of the game or how the story of the game goes. Is dictated really by how the Ravens start. If we start flat, it may be neck and neck. The other team may pull ahead a little bit, and then we have to end up, playing hero ball. Well, Lamar Jackson has to end up playing hero ball, and we come back, that sort of thing. But when we start like we started yesterday, it's very, very reminiscent of the 2019 season, and I can predict a lot more games going exactly the way that yesterday's game went if we can start fast like that again. But yeah, big shout outs, to the running game. The running game was just completely dominant as well yesterday. I think 187 yards rushing.
Yep.
Every one of our starting running backs had a touchdown. Le'Veon Bell,
that was on the team about 2.5 months ago.
Exactly, and Latavius Murray. Like we're talking about bringing guys off the street. Devonta Freeman, who could not get on a team the past couple seasons, and Le'Veon Bell, same thing, and Latavius Murray. Saints didn't want him, so it's like, bro, we brought in these guys. And I get so excited talking about it because it's just so crazy to think about. Like we're still one of the best rushing teams in the league, basically having to have a patchwork running back core on 10 days notice.
The leftovers. We got the scraps. We went to the corner where the leftovers are, and we just picked them up and made something out of it.
Right, and look what we're doing with the scraps. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's see. SG says Devonta Freeman shut me up yesterday. Did he shut you up, Alex? Because I know you've
He
been
looked
very
he
hard on
he looked
him.
like running back one yesterday. He really looked
Yeah,
like running back one. That's actually a crazy thing to think because he was the best one out of all three, in my opinion.
yeah,
I think he was doing the most out of all of them. I just think the Ravens aren't going to have a running back one, a true set in stone. I think it's just be running back by committee. I mean, I'm
yeah.
kind of cool with it. I mean, because you don't know really who to game plan around.
Right.
I hope Latavius Murray's injury isn't serious because I like the
Definitely.
way he was running. That touchdown run was just that reminded me of a Gus run. Just went through the
Yeah,
middle and just absorbed contact. I did want to talk about our defense one more time.
sure.
If you have to pass against our secondary, even without Peters, without Westry, we're still stacked secondary wise. Like we
Yeah.
were healthy yesterday and it showed. Herbert couldn't
Oh,
get
yeah.
anything going. I loved it.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely benefited from having Deshaun Elliott back in the fold as
Yeah,
well. Like yeah, him being back was huge. Brandon Stevens, I think, continues to play well in his role back there
much
too
better.
as a rookie. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and transition into another question. In a team win like this, because it was an overall effort.
Yeah,
Yesterday's
all three
victory was an
aspects.
overall effort. Yeah, yeah. Offense, defense, and special teams like just were dominant. Uh, you know, at all times, at every turn. So, in a team effort like that, in a team win, who were the most impactful players, Alex, to you and to the Rain Gang as well? I posed this question: like, who were the most impactful players on the field yesterday that got us that win? Now, for me, I'll start with one. One of them for me was definitely going to be Pat Ricard. Pat
Yeah,
Ricard, man, he like when it comes to what we asked this man to do, he's like he's second to none really because like his blocking ability and his way to just seal off edges and just pancake guys completely, like take linebackers completely out of a play and
yeah.
making way for a running back. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous
From
what he does,
anywhere,
man.
wherever he's
Yeah,
lined up, he'll do it.
wherever he's lined up. And you saw like it's like Latavius Murray and Devonta Freeman had yesterday. Like those runs were caused by Pat Ricard's blocking.
Yeah,
If you didn't see it, go back and watch the film. Like go back and watch the highlights and look what Pat Ricard put on the film yesterday. Like that was just a classic effort at just making way for your running backs to get through those holes, man. And so that's going to be my most impactful player or unsung hero, if you will, from
yeah.
yesterday. It's going to be Pat Ricard. But what about you?
So I was gonna say Josh Bynes,
Mm,
but we already talked about him a little bit because I think he just made such a huge impact. I'm kind of stuck right now, but I'm gonna go Marlon Humphrey. Then I'm gonna say him as
okay.
the other one too. But the fact that you're testing all pro Marlowe, $98 million Marlowe, the way they were on fourth and short, he's one of the
Yeah.
most physical corners in the game. Why are you testing him?
Yeah.
Like we had a weak spot in Anthony Everett and they weren't testing. I mean, I wasn't complaining, but I was questioning Marlon Humphrey a little bit this season. He really wasn't showing me that elite status, but he earned it right back yesterday. Locking
Yeah.
up Keenan Allen, locking up Mike Williams. That's what that is what we ask from number 44. And then my
Mm,
second one, I mean, it kind of goes unsung, but Devin Duvernay, uh,
yes.
when you can just return it to just the 35 to 40, you're already setting up the offense in beautiful field. We're one Mark Andrews pass
Absolutely.
away from being in Tucker range. It's crazy to
Yep.
think, but I think
Speak on it.
we've just seen just such a huge increase and just we've seen the improvement of Devin Duvernay in special teams, like right in front of our eyes. Honestly, he's
Yeah.
taking these kicks back. I'm loving it. Punts back.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I think we're actually getting that special teams. We may have our, dare I say, our Jacoby Jones. I'm not going to go all the way there, but
Yeah.
he definitely brings that spark that I believe that if we need a spark, he can bring it in the special teams play. So,
Absolutely, man. And just talking about Devin Duvernay a little bit more, just bringing up his exact stats from yesterday on kick returns. He had 2 kick returns for a total of 70 yards and 35 yards of return. His longest one went for 47 yards, a 47-yard kick return. That is monumental for an offense, for Lamar Jackson and company to get back on the field and be working with that sort of down in distance and field space. And then punt returns, he had 3 returns for 44 yards, 14.7 yards averaging. It was really good. Like he was setting us up, and this is what we mean by in every aspect, the Ravens play well. Special teams was great. Special teams
yeah.
was great. and Devin Duvernay was great. So he was setting up Lamar Jackson with good field position on top of the fact that Brandon Staley decided to go for it on fourth down, his own territory a couple
That's like
times.
19.
Exactly. Even more advantageous field position points in the game as well for the Ravens. So, it was just overall just amazing effort. But I really like that most impactful player from you, Marlowe and Devin Duvernay. I saw somebody else put, let's see. I saw somebody else. Yolanda says Elliott, Deshaun Elliott, man. Shout out to Deshaun Elliott for getting his first interception. Yeah, man.
It was kind of like it was just weird because he gets to pick the next play we throw a pick, but that pick was huge. He's covering a big tight end and Jared Cook just gets in front of him, picks it off, and then we were just bringing him more in a blitz. And I don't want to compare him to Jamal Adams because Jamal Adams just had a shocker of a game, but Deshaun Elliott is like a true like box hybrid safety that I think Wink Martindale just oozes the fact that he can just use him in his defense. He was sending him on a blitz, dropping him in the coverage, doing everything with him. Getting the quarterback, I loved it. If he can stay healthy, man, this defense can just be even better.
Yeah, absolutely right about that. Boss says Alex spitting. That's for sure. That is for sure. Chris Hall says, "What's up, fellas? What's up, Chris? How you doing? Appreciate you for joining this episode."
Can I bring up one more player? I want to get your opinion on it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's time we start the Mark Andrews as the best tight end in the league conversation. Top 2, not 2. I think it's
really
time. I think because I'm starting to think it's time. I really am because he's just still doing his thing.
Alex, let's not get ahead of ourselves, though. I mean, we're talking about Darren Waller and Travis Kelce that he's contending with. Like,
I'm talking about, we can start having a conversation. If he keeps on putting up these numbers, we can start talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, he's becoming more and more of a threat in the red zone, which is dangerous for defenses. And last week we saw what he did. He had those 2 touchdowns and had over 100 yards receiving. He's had 2 really good games back to back. I will admit that, but in terms of like his overall ability, like I just think that guys like Darren Waller can do everything that Mark Andrews does, but just a little bit more too. Think about like what Darren Waller is. Like he's got like that wide receiver type build, but he plays just like a tight end should play, but he's got kind of like that hybrid.
Ravens.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank Ravens for that one.
And you can see like what he does, like making those sideline catches, toe taps. Like he's literally like he's a wide. He's what Kyle Pitts wants to be. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah. So like Darren Waller, I'd have him above Mark Andrews, and then Travis Kelce, just all around, man. Just the way that they use Kelce, he's just a really good football player, man. When it comes to like backyard football, I think he's just like one step above Mark Andrews in terms of just overall ability. Like if you look at it like a Madden, for example, like if Mark Andrews is an 85, then I think that Travis Kelce has got to be at least like an 88, 89. I don't know what they are exactly in Madden.
Yeah.
But I just look at it that way. He's just one step above Mark Andrews. Andrews still got a little bit more to prove in the playoffs, to me at least. But yeah,
I think that's all he needs to do. I mean, he's proven himself now to me on week 2 national TV, and then week 1. I mean, last week against the Colts. Yeah. He's doing what I asked of him. He's showing up when it matters. So that's why I had to bring it up, because I do slander him sometimes. But
yeah, we do. But we love Mark Andrews here on the Purple Rain Podcast, episode 79. Make sure you guys go ahead and like the video. We got about 75 people watching live right now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. Make sure you like the video. And if you're new here and you're enjoying the content tonight, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because there will be a lot more Purple Rain and Ravens content coming your way. All right. So let's transition into this part of the Ravens vs. Chargers review. What we liked, loved, and hated from yesterday's game. I guess I'll start. So what I liked from the Ravens game yesterday is just the fact that the running game was just able to get going. We were able to establish it early and often, which is what you love to see from a Ravens offense, because the run is going to be what opens up the pass, and we saw that like a lot of teams now, but the last 2 weeks, Lamar Jackson has had amazing performances through the air. But what we saw was that teams are now starting to try to key in on that deep passing game. So the deep ball wasn't there yesterday. No. If you didn't notice, if anybody didn't notice, the deep ball was just not there. It's not that Lamar was gun shy or anything like that. It's just the deep ball was really not there yesterday. They were playing a lot of quarters coverage, dropping guys back, not letting Lamar beat them with their arms. So we said, okay, cool. Coaching staff said, okay, cool. Giro said, okay, cool. Let's just run it down their throats. And that's exactly what we did. So that's what I liked. What
Yeah,
I loved.
the worst run defense
Yeah.
in the league too.
Right, exactly. So we did what needed to be done. We did what needed to be done. What I loved, I really loved just the fact that it was an overall team effort. It wasn't just like Lamar heroics that got us the W. It wasn't just like
Yeah.
one big touchdown that put us over the hump or anything like that. Like it was a complete team victory from start to finish. That's what I loved. Now, what I hated, and this may be like a little bit nitpicky, but and I hate saying this, Hollywood Brown, man. I really want him to stop dropping passes in the end zone. I really want that to stop. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a fair criticism at this point because he is our true number one wide receiver. We've anointed him of that. Like he is our guy. It's less Lamar's guy. Hollywood gets the most targets. But it's like, man, it scares me that when I see these concentration drops, because like we know Hollywood can make amazing catches. We've seen him do it before, but it's just like the easy ones. Like he had his man beat yesterday. Lamar threw him open. He just drops it in the end zone, makes like an unnecessary leap instead of like just going for the ball.
Yeah.
So it's just things like that I feel like need to be cleaned up because I mean you add on that touchdown, you're talking the Ravens have what 40 points. Or did we score on that drive? I think we
got 3. I think
we
I was
got
3
three.
in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
drive.
I think we got 3 that drive. So you're talking about 7 points instead of 3, and that could be the difference maker in I don't know a divisional matchup or an AFC Championship game. So just the concentration drops. We've seen it at least 4 or 5 times at this point in the season. We're 6 games in, so we just want to see Hollywood get that cleaned up. Now we will get into yours, Alex, in just a second, but we do have a super chat donation coming from our friend Gerald, making it rain
Rout.
here on episode 79 of the Purple Rain podcast. Gerald, we appreciate you. Gerald, he actually reached out to me. He was like, yo, I'm gonna start donating exactly what the Ravens scored in their past games. So we scored 34 points.
Okay.
He's donating 34, Gerald. We appreciate you so much. He says the Ravens are a dangerous team, and I had the Bills atop of the AFC. But if the defense continues to play like they played against the Chargers, there is no doubt the Ravens is the best team in the AFC. Yeah, and
We'll
we're
get
actually
into
going to
that.
talk about that. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a couple minutes, Joe. So hold that thought. Hold
your
thought.
horses.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's see. We're going to go ahead and get into what you liked, loved, and hated,
Okay.
Alex. So let us know.
Okay. This one I kind of turned a negative into a positive. Liked TCC. When Bozeman went down, oh boy, I was scared. I was very, very scared. But TCC came in. He came in, and then I was liking what I saw, and then also we saw Latavius Murray and the backups. I'm liking the fact that we have depth all around, and we've seen it. I'm gonna call out some certain fans right now, because certain teams lose some of their players and start making excuses for everybody in the world. What does our team do? We shut the hell up and keep working. That's what I like. I like how it's a next man up mentality, that we have dogs in playing backup that when they get their chance, they're just going to step up and just do what they got to do. So that's what I liked. What I love the tackling. We talked about how the tackling just was poor. It was piss poor. I'm wearing Patrick Queen's college jersey, but even when before he got hurt, he made a clean one-on-one tackle, I'm pretty sure. He was wrapping up. I mean, I know we criticize him, but he did what he had to do before he went out. And so did the whole team. We didn't see guys getting dragged 30 carries, So that was but what I hated, it's got to be the drops too. I'm not talking just Hollywood. Looking at Bateman's drop too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say that was more on the chemistry. But that's the only thing I can really think of is that him and Lamar haven't been together. But the Hollywood drop, it was a tough catch, but if you're a number one receiver, you should be catching it. Just going to be completely honest. So, I mean, it was kind of hard to nitpick some of that stuff, but overall, it was just a really, really good game. So, it's just for the sake of the segment.
Absolutely. We do have another super chat donation. This one coming in from our guy Darius the Official. Thank you so much, my man. We appreciate you for making it rain here on episode 79 of the Purple Rain podcast. He says that boy Bateman is going to be a problem, bro. Yeah, man. Bateman, I really liked what I saw from him. Despite the drop, that was a nasty drop, man. I'm not gonna lie. Had he pulled that one in, That would have made for like a spectacular, like a
That
damn
led
near
to a pick.
perfect debut. You know what I mean? But it led to a pick, and that just made it all the worse. It makes it look like Lamar Jackson actually legitimately threw 2 bad picks when he really only had 1 bad pick. That was his fault. But it is what it is, man. Him and Bateman, that chemistry will get better. It was only the first game, but what I really liked from Bateman was that he had like 4 catches, and all of them were first downs. Like that's
Chain
huge.
mover.
Like chain mover. Like we're talking about, and then one of them was he caught it behind the sticks on the line to gain, and he
Yep.
made a move on 2 guys to pick up the first down. And I'm like, okay, and I tweeted this earlier, like this is all I needed to see from a guy like Rashad Bateman to know that, okay, we definitely have one with him. He's got sure hands. I know the drop, but he's got sure hands. And then he has the wiggle to get yards after the catch, even at his size. He has sneaky speed, sneaky quickness, agility. Footwork is really nice. I like that about him too. But just that dog to fight for extra yards, man. Fight for extra yards when you know you need to get the first down for your team to move the sticks. Like that's what playing like a Raven looks like. And that's why I'm very excited to see what he has to offer in this offense moving forward. But yeah.
I mean, I just don't want fans to. I feel like they're still expecting too much out of Bateman too. It was really good. I mean, that's all I really was hoping for. He got in the game. He was pass blocking. I mean, he was run blocking, and he caught some balls. And I mean, the drop didn't really matter at the end of the game. They didn't score on it. It was a pretty solid debut for him, considering his first game is a real NFL game, not a preseason game. It's like a B plus.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that a lot. Like honestly, B plus. I feel like that's the perfect grade for him because, you know, a lot of people were expecting him to come out and score a touchdown, have like, I don't know, 70, 80 yards receiving. But it's just like, hey, man, it's his first game back. He's got to get like accustomed to this offense. So like for what he did, a B plus is very fair. Very, very fair. And we'll continue to monitor what he does going forward, obviously, because I think that he could eventually emerge as one of our best receivers. So, all right. So that pretty much does it for the Ravens versus Chargers review. Now we're gonna get into a new segment, a brand new segment that we're gonna call, and we're kind of piloting this right now, test running it. But after every Ravens game, we want to do a segment called Burning Questions. So just burning questions that you have about the Ravens post their last game. So post this Ravens versus Chargers game. What questions do you really have about this team at the moment? So make sure you guys in the live chat right now, make sure you leave any of your burning questions about the Ravens as as it pertains to the league and whatever else in the chat. And if you're watching after the fact, you're part of the hashtag replay gang. Make sure you leave your comments down below as well, because we love to chop it up with you guys too. So let's start with this question, Alex.
Yeah.
5-1, just beat one of the best teams in the AFC.
Yeah.
Are the Ravens the best team in the AFC right now?
Record-wise, right now, yes. After tonight, we'll probably be second best, right behind the Bills. I'm cool with that. I saw what happened when the media let the Ravens in 2019 get to their head, and we just absolutely laid an egg in the playoffs. I still definitely think that we need improvement. I think the Bills have a more explosive offense than us. I mean, I saw it against the Chiefs last week, what they did to them. Their defense is good. But what I saw from us yesterday, I really liked. But I think just the fact that the Bills kind of hold that little upper edge from the playoffs last year on us too, I give it to the Bills number one, but we're not too far behind. We're really not. I think one of their couple statement games away, maybe 1 or 2. I think one this weekend wouldn't hurt against a Bengals team that everybody's, loving. And probably a divisional game. Another one probably against like the Steelers or the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bills, I wish we played them this year. I really wish we played them. Right. I definitely think we could beat them. I definitely think we could. But right now, no, I have us number 2 in the AFC. But we're not too far away from one. The gap isn't too big.
It's not. It's not at all. Like you said, I think that it's fair to put the Bills over the Ravens just by a little bit because of what happened in the playoffs last season and just how dominant the Bills have been, all around for the past couple weeks. honestly, against the Chiefs and against the Texans and the Dolphins, of course. But yeah. So moving on to the next question here before we get into some of you guys as I see in the chat. Hollywood Brown, man, we just talked about him. Is he do you still believe that he will end this season as our true number one receiver, or do you think a guy like Sammy Watkins or Bateman might step up and take that lead?
Oh yeah, I still think he's gonna be number one,
Mm,
100%.
mm,
What I saw from him yesterday that I didn't see from him last year, he had a drop, but he came back from it. He had a
yeah,
great catch in the middle of the field. That's what I like to see. And when Sammy Watkins comes back, he's gonna get more single coverage. And look what happened when they single covered him against the Colts. He broke
yeah,
their corner's ankles. His
he
ankles are
did.
still in MD Bank Stadium. But I think the question, to be honest, is who's gonna be number two.
Yeah,
Um, I think Bateman will be number two by the end of the year, and Watkins will be three. But I think that's actually gonna help Watkins out more because he'll be getting more. He'll be left more open like he was in Kansas City.
right.
I think it's gonna be better for him. So I think Hollywood will end the year wide receiver one for sure.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough to say too. Let's go ahead and get into some of you guys' burning questions I see here in the chat. Darius the official says, "Do you guys think we should play Binds more than PQ? Our energy with Binds is crazy." Ooh,
I think I
it's a
think
tough
Bynes
one.
MPQ.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. That's how they started, right?
Yeah,
Pretty sure that's how they started yesterday. So, more of that. I mean, if whatever PQ can learn from the veteran Josh Bynes about playing in this defense and playing like a Raven, then hey, the more the merrier. I'm with that. So yeah,
because if you think about it, I mean, if PQ is two, we can kind of just let him do what he wants to, roam around, let
yeah,
let Bynes worry about the coverage. I'd be cool with that.
yeah. Let's see. This next question comes from Chris Reed. Chris Reed says, "Can we be consistent going into the playoffs? Also, can they stop the drops? And will we ever have a real running back one?"
I think we can be consistent, 100%.
Yeah, but I think our consistency, it does rely upon us having a consistent enough rushing attack. Because believe it
And
or not,
we
as
won't
high
have a real
flying,
running back one. I honestly don't think we will.
yeah, as high flying as our offense has been this season thus far, with Lamar Jackson throwing the ball really well, we still are going to need that rushing attack, like come down the stretch. Come when we get to December and January, like it's gonna be crucial that we can establish the run and run the ball on these teams. So I think we can be consistent, but I think we are gonna have to have an emergence of somebody. I don't know if it's gonna be Latavius Murray. It's not looking like it's gonna be Tyson Williams at this point, man. Honestly, I
No.
just don't know what's going on with that, but I don't know who it's gonna be. But somebody needs to step up. My guess would be Latavius Murray since they're giving him the lion's share of the opportunities.
Yeah,
We'll see if he can make the
it
most of
feels
them.
like it. It feels like
Yeah,
they're trying to force him to be running back one.
right. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Robbie Redifer says, "Will James Prochet continue to get lost in the shuffle, especially when Sammy Watkins returns? He had 50 snaps 2 weeks ago, and he only had 5 snaps this week. Got to get him in a little more."
I think he will, but he really shouldn't. He's done nothing to just get his snaps reduced.
Hmm.
Besides the fact Bateman's in. I mean, how many? I saw Boykin had a catch. How many snaps did he have? If you can let me know, Robbie. Uh,
Yeah.
I just it's unfair to him. I think we're gonna lose him. He seems like that gem that got away. Because
I
he's
know,
impressed me this
man.
year.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna make me mad when he's like a Buffalo Bill next year, and he's just I don't
Oh,
know.
not the Bills, not the Bills. Nah, come on.
Hey man, anything can happen. Anything can happen. All is fair in the NFL. We know that. We know that. All right. So moving on to the next burning question. This one is going to come from PRP, Purple Rain
Okay.
Podcast. Make sure you guys like the video. Now this question is: should Patrick McCarry stay at right tackle? So I mean, yeah, I mean we know that right tackle is one of those positions that's up in the air for us right now. The only reason why he is there is because Ronnie Stanley got hurt and Villanueva had to shift from right tackle to left tackle.
Yep.
Villanueva is playing a lot better at left tackle, and this seems to be working. This seems to be working right here. Villy on the left and Macari on the right. Seems to be working. So the question is, when Ronnie Stanley comes back and he takes back over that left tackle position, what do we do with Villanueva versus Macari for right tackle?
Honestly, Ravens fans aren't gonna like to hear this. I was talking about this with you earlier. I don't think this question we're even gonna have to get to because I think Ronnie Stanley's gonna be shut down for the year. I really believe that. But for the sake of this question, it's really hard to bench Villanueva, who's making what is like 2-year, $14 million.
Yeah.
For Macari, who's undrafted, who to me reminds me of a James Hurst, but actually better and off the PEDs. I mean, he can play anywhere. We put him at guard, put him at tackle, put him at center.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just can't see the Ravens actually like we're the team that we have too much respect for veterans. Like we won't bench, Villanueva, even though he was god awful week 1. I mean, I don't want us to get that way, but I think he's earned his place on the line. I think I just don't know where.
Yeah, it's just I think he plays so much better and he's just so much more comfortable at left tackle than he is at right tackle. I just don't think it would make any logical sense to put him back on the right side when Patrick Macari is working right now. And John Harbaugh said it himself today. Like, he wouldn't rather have anybody there right now than Patrick Macari. Like, he's playing that well at the right tackle position. So it's going to get a little bit dicey when Stanley comes back. But like you said, we probably won't even have to have this conversation because they might just shut down Ronnie Stanley. If he can, because look, you got to think about it. He had all off season to rehab, and we played him week 1, and we haven't seen him since. And there hasn't even been like, I know some of you guys follow like Jeff Zuriebek, Jonas Schaefer, all those other guys on Twitter, who update you about the Ravens every day. And they never really give you any sort of indication that Ronnie Stanley is even close to being back.
Yeah. At least with Nick Boyle, we hear, he's going to come back to practice. We know Westry's coming back after the bye week. We know Sammy's going to come back after the bye week. We don't know anything about Ronnie Stanley.
Nothing. So, yeah, man, we just don't know. But Patrick Macari is playing really well. So for my vote, I think Macari should definitely stay at right tackle for sure.
And I'll be honest, he's earned himself a huge payday. Kudos to him. I mean, he went out sad last year at center, but he's come back at right tackle and he's shown up.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. D3 brings in this question. It says, do you think that Tyson Williams is getting deactivated so the other running backs can shine since they are on short-term contracts? Potential trade bait.
I think Tyson's a trade bait.
Really? But, I mean, we haven't really showcased him in the last couple of weeks. He's, not really done anything for him to be trade bait.
I know. It's weird, but I think Le'Veon's going to have to get activated soon. I can't see any team really trading for Devonta Freeman, to be honest. I think it's Tyson and Latavius Murray the teams are calling about.
Yeah.
But if you want a running back, Nate McCurry is on our practice squad. I like him a lot. I'm surprised we haven't given him a shout yet. But
yeah. I mean, like I said, bringing up a guy like Nate McCrary with all these other guys who are on these short-term contracts that are costing us money right now, it's like I don't see them really doing that. And at this point, like you said, they're gonna have to call up Le'Veon Bell eventually. He's already had 2 games where he's been called up from the practice squad, so can't do that anymore. So it's between Le'Veon Bell and Tyson Williams. It feels like, because we know that Latavius Murray and Devonta Freeman, they have a spot on this roster.
Yep.
You can tell with the play calling how much they get the ball, their snap count. They have a spot. So right now, it really boils down to Tyson Williams or Le'Veon Bell, and it's looking like, Le'Veon Bell just scored a touchdown. I know he didn't have too much other production other than that, but what we've seen from just the body language of the Ravens coaching staff, it doesn't seem like they're really messing with one Tyson Williams. So, like I said, Le'Veon could be coming back, and Tyson getting deactivated could be exactly for that reason, D3. But we appreciate your question. All right, so that's going to do it for our burning questions segment. Man, that was fun. I like that. That was pretty cool. I like that. So I think we'll continue to do that, the burning questions segment. Yeah, that was hot. That was hot. I like that. So now we're going to go ahead and transition to NFL Week 6 around the league, man. Around the league. We've talked a lot about Ravens football.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about some of the other games that went on yesterday. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. Still owning.
You mean the owner of the Bears?
The owner of the Bears. Yeah. Just going into Chicago and just shutting them down, man. And just, it was close. It was a close game for a while. But Aaron Rodgers, just being Aaron Rodgers, pulled that one out, made the plays that need to be made, and pulled out the victory. So what were your thoughts on that game?
Aaron Rodgers grew out his hair.
Yeah.
He's just acting different. I mean, I love that, just the trash talk. He said, "I own you," and then you see the picture of the fans flipping him off today.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it came out. A couple of fans were giving him the double birds. Yeah,
Really?
I see why he did
Yikes.
it. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Bears, so it's like, the Bears aren't like the most challenging team right now. They still got a young quarterback, Justin Fields, and they're trying to figure some things out. Matt Nagy's still there. They're trying to figure things
that's
out.
the
But
problem right there.
yeah, I mean, what's the read on the Packers right now? What's their record?
They're 5-1.
They're
5 straight
5-1.
wins.
Yeah,
They're just like us.
5 straight wins,
Lost
just like
week 1.
us. Right. Exactly. So I mean, it's looking like they'll probably take their division, but is it seeming like this is that one last ride for Aaron Rodgers with the
It
Packers?
is.
Like, do you think they'll make it back to the NFC Championship game?
You know what? It depends who they play. If they play the Rams, man, or the Cardinals, that's a good game. But
Yeah.
I think they can definitely make it. It just depends who they run into.
Yeah. Agree. Yeah, so we'll, continue to watch out for that. Aaron Rodgers, man, he might have another MVP season if he continues to turn up, man. I don't know. We'll see. Continue to watch that. I think in the second half of the season he could heat up a little bit more. Just me though.
Yeah.
But yeah, next little topic that we have for around the league, Baker Mayfield. And I saw somebody bring this up in the chat just now. Your boy Baker is struggling. It's not looking good. I don't know if it's the shoulder injury or what from a couple weeks ago, but last week what I saw from Baker Mayfield was, him missing throws. He had 2 turnovers back to back. Yeah, did you see that fumble that he had?
Oh, I saw.
Yeah, that fumble. It was so funny watching that fumble, because like that was one of those plays that like Lamar Jackson gets into a lot, where like, the pocket breaks down, he's dancing around and he's trying to find his way out and trying to make something happen. And most time he does. But Baker just like, he was trying to dance around and whatnot, but it's like, come on, Baker, who do you think you are? You're not Lamar, you're not Kyler Murray. You're not that guy. You're not
even Josh Allen.
Exactly. You're not that guy. So he ends up getting clocked from behind and drops the football. And yeah, it just hasn't been looking good.
There was a picture I put on my Instagram stories. Baker Mayfield will be in progressive commercials, but hasn't progressed since his rookie year. I thought that was the funniest thing. I mean, and I was I mean, like, it's obvious Odell's not working there.
Right.
It's just there's problems with the Browns that they weren't there last year. I think because of the new whole head coach thing, but have teams figured out the Cleveland Browns? I don't hear about that. I don't hear about it.
Yeah, but we really don't hear about it, honestly, dude. And like, my thing is, now the Browns are kind of in a similar situation that we're in. All of a sudden they don't have Nick Chubb. All of a sudden they don't have Kareem Hunt.
Yep.
So just like us, they lost their running backs and
their second round pick, JOK.
Yeah, JOK. He's out too for a couple weeks. So we're going to see what the Browns are really made of, if they're really for real, and what they can do in this division, because this season is actually flying by, Alex. I wanted to bring that up too. We're already going into week 7. Our divisional matchups are going to start real soon here. So we're going to be seeing teams like the Browns. Yeah, we're going to be seeing the Browns soon and very soon.
And when I watch the Browns, I'm really impressed by Donovan Peoples-Jones. I've been impressed with him. Like, he's a stud. That's their number 1 receiver right now.
Yeah.
Like, he's, no matter what you do, he makes plays, and I don't know what the Browns got going on, but they need to get it together, because they have talent. They just can't put it all together.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So, I mean, of course, in the AFC North right now, the Browns are currently ranked 3rd, and then the Bengals 2nd, Ravens 1st, obviously. So, I mean, this is a very interesting division. It's a very interesting division this year. If the Browns can get it together, which I think eventually, once Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb come back and get healthy and they can start really establishing that run again, they'll be fine. The Bengals look good, obviously. And then, the Ravens are at the top of the division. with the most injured
do you want
players
to
in the
keep
league, which it is what it is.
Do you want to keep the NFC North talk going on? I mean, the AFC North talk going on. Why not?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Last night, prime time. Geno Smith, Ben Roethlisberger, 7 versus 7.
Yeah.
Watch that game.
I did.
A weird game, wacky game. Very
Definitely,
weird.
definitely a wacky game. I really like my biggest thing that I haven't been able to stop thinking about from that game today is what DK Metcalf did.
Oh, see,
like late in the
there's gonna be
game.
no DeKalen slander going on here. All
but
right.
but look, man. I'm sorry. I got to do it. Your boy was looking real corny on Twitter earlier today, man. Real corny.
No.
Coming at Shannon Sharp like that, man. I don't know if you guys saw what he said, but like, basically DK Metcalf, he made a bonehead play last night. Almost lost his team the game altogether, single-handedly, by catching a ball not going out of bounds with like what 14 or 10 seconds left.
Yeah, 14 seconds.
Ends up fumbling it. Then he gets up and he's like looking around like, what happened? You know what I mean? It just kind of lines up, and luckily they get the snap off with 1 second left. And Shannon Sharp tweeted, he was live tweeting the game. He said, why try to play hero ball right there? You just got to get out of bounds.
Yeah.
Next day, DK Metcalf, he responds to Shannon Sharp's tweet and is like, oh yeah, like don't question me, little boy. Like, first of all, come on. Like, DK Metcalf is like all of 23 years old. Got to be like 22, 23. Blue hair, talking to Shannon Sharp, who is a 3-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, one of the best tight ends of all time. Just disrespecting him. You're disrespecting your elder. You're disrespecting a legend. Like, it was just very corny, very, very corny. But I don't know about that. But yeah, Geno Smith, it's not gonna work out with him on Seattle. They're not gonna be able to grind out wins with him. It just seems obvious they can't score at a high enough clip with Geno Smith at quarterback, it seems like. And yesterday wasn't really a true test for the Pittsburgh Steelers to me. It really wasn't. It still came down to a close game, but I mean, hey, it really wasn't, man. I need to see more from the Steelers. I still have faith in the Steelers because their coaching is so good. I believe in Mike Tomlin, what he can do with that organization, but I need to see a couple more good wins from them. Who do they? I want to know who they play next. I want to know what their schedule looks like.
We have some Steeler fans in the chat. They'll be sure to let you know who they play.
Yeah. Let us know.
I mean, there's a reason why TJ Watt got paid that big contract, and it shows you last night.
Right.
I still think he's probably the best edge in the league. I have him above Myles Garrett. I mean, just the things TJ Watt can do. I mean, even without Bud Dupree, I know people were saying that Dupree helped him. Bro, he's still doing that shit.
Yeah.
So, and the fact we got to play him twice with, I hope Villy and I hope McCarry can do their thing, but I'm worried. Because they terrorized us. What am I talking? They terrorized us last year when Stanley went out. So
yeah,
we'll see. But it's always good when it's AFC North football.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have over 100 people watching live right now. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you like the video, and subscribe if you're new and enjoying tonight's content. But yeah. Oh yeah, K-Dog says Alex Collins also got off yesterday.
Yeah.
Former Raven. Alex Collins had a touchdown. I can't remember how
much
many
like
yards
those games when he was with us.
Yeah.
We lost in Pittsburgh even when he was there.
Yeah. Steelers had a hard time stopping the run last night too. That was very interesting to see. I was jotting that down in my notes.
Yeah, they said they were missing 2 players, but yeah, I recognize that too.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into what
is it that time to talk about that one team we don't want to talk about? That one team?
That one team? What team is that, Alex?
The boys.
I think it is. It's about that time, man. The Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys going in and taking out the New England Patriots, which is, for what it's worth these days, it's still a good victory for sure. You go in and beat Bill Belichick and them boys, but it's definitely not what it used to be when Brady was there. But the Cowboys got it done late in overtime, actually. And CeeDee Lamb looked really good in that game. Dak Prescott looked really good. Trayvon Diggs got yet another interception, and this one was a pick six. So the Cowboys, the question is, are the Cowboys really for real, man? Like, for the first time in 20 some odd years, are they actually for real? Are they contenders? Could they meet up with the Packers or the Cardinals in the NFC Championship game or the Rams.
Or the Rams. I was wrong. The Rams are definitely a contender. I think they could. I think when you look at what the Cowboys did this past offseason, it wasn't a player they brought in. It was getting Dan Quinn at defensive coordinator. Their defense was so bad last year, and the fact that they turned it around with just one season. We haven't even seen the full season yet, but their defense just looks a lot better.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to what they had last year, they were getting, 500 yards a game? That's why Dak was putting up the numbers he was. I think I can put them for playoff contenders, like getting to the divisional round, but getting the championship, I got to see more. I'm not sure who they play soon, but if they can play a good team coming up, like a real, real good team, we can definitely have that conversation. But right now, I definitely think they're playoff contenders for sure.
Yeah, definitely playoff contenders. Now, that offense, man, it's just got so much firepower, so many weapons, man. There's talent everywhere on that roster, and the Cowboys have done a good job over the past few years building up that roster. I think you make a good point saying that the difference between the Cowboys this year and last year, well, one, Dak is back, of course, but them getting Dan Quinn at defensive coordinator, that has made all the difference because, I mean, they lead the league in interceptions because of Trayvon Diggs, of course, but that's huge, man. They're forcing turnovers. They're putting Dak in that offense in good situations. So, I definitely think they are contenders for sure. Now, I wanted to talk about like the receiving corps specifically because they have CeeDee Lamb, there's Gallup, Amari Cooper. Who do you think is the best receiver on that receiving corps? Because I think it's CeeDee Lamb over Amari Cooper.
I think it's Lamb. I think it's Lamb Cooper. I mean, the fact that Gallup he was putting up crazy numbers in last year too. It's crazy. It's really crazy how they have two number one receivers, and their third receiver is the number two on probably every team in the league. It's crazy. It's really crazy. But I'm gonna go Lamb. I gotta agree with you there.
Yeah, I definitely think Lamb is the more talented receiver. Who I think is a little bit more reliable. I think Amari Cooper is a little bit more reliable. I've seen CeeDee Lamb drop some. Yeah, he's been there, done that. I've seen CeeDee Lamb had some drops like in crunch time. He definitely had one, I believe, last.
Oh, is Sutton gone? Sutton is gone. Sutton's gone again. Oh my goodness, Sutton. CeeDee Lamb waved Jalen Mills goodbye. Now we're waving Sutton goodbye, unfortunately. Oh man. But all right, since I'm here, we can get into more of the games yesterday. There was the Chiefs and the Washington football team. Don't know if you guys saw that. Don't know if you guys heard the controversy about that. Anybody else see that little TikTok old Jackson Mahomes made? My boy better get his family together because that was super duper disrespectful. But the Chiefs won, but to me it wasn't convincing. I'm kind of worried about the Chiefs right now because if you just made the Super Bowl and you're like barely getting past the Washington football team the way they did. I mean, they won respectfully, but Chiefs, I got to see more from them. Let me pull up the scores real quick. We can get into the rest of the games. We had Bengals-Lions. I mean, nobody's really surprised that the Lions lost. They're the worst team in the league. Colts-Texans. The Texans are probably the worst team in the league right next to the Lions. Rams-Giants. Here's my official apology. I was wrong about Matt Stafford. It hurts to say. He's an MVP candidate. And, yeah, he lit the Giants up. He lit them up. The Vikings and the Panthers. What a game, OT. Don't know if anybody watched that. We need to have a talk right now about the Panthers and the Broncos. All right? They started off 3-0. They're now both 0-3. Okay? Is it time to say that the Panthers and the Broncos were frauds? They were phonies? Because I think it's time. I mean, the Vikings, they're 3-3 too, but I just can't see the Panthers or the Broncos even sniffing the playoffs anymore. And yeah, that was about it for the whole week. And then we had the Bills and Titans tonight. A real good game. I see people asking me about what happened with the TikTok. His brother did a dance on the retired 21 of Sean Taylor, who they were literally retiring his number. So, yeah, that's not a good look from the moment, between his wife calling out the refs and now his brother. You need to get your family. Pull an Aaron Rodgers, all right? There's a reason why Aaron Rodgers doesn't talk to his family. Mahomes, go ahead and do the same. But looking forward to tonight. We have the Bills and the Titans. That's going to be a pretty good game. It's in Tennessee. Kind of liking that. Who do you guys have? I think I have the Bills. But this is going to be a real big test, I think. They defended the pass really well from the Chiefs last week. But defending King Henry this week, that's something. That is something. I'm actually I want to hear what you guys think. What are we thinking the Bills can stop the Titans run game as well as they stop the passing game? I mean, this is something else. Gerald, I'm still here. Gerald, I am still here. All right, don't come on now. I'm still here. But yeah, that's honestly all that we have. I think that's all we got. Well, hope you guys enjoy your night. I'm kind of upset Sutton isn't here. We can't end this off the right way, but the show must go on. So until then, thank you for coming through to episode 79 of the Purple Rain podcast. And as always, stay positive, test negative, and don't forget, since he's not here, I'll do it, to call God. Thank you for coming through to episode 79 of the Purple Rain podcast. We will see you on Thursday. And until then, peace.
But yeah, sorry about that, guys. My StreamYard crashed on me, but that is going to do it for tonight's episode. We basically covered everything, so it's all good. This has been episode 79. We're going to catch you guys later. Peace.